Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Laurel and I love to create. One of my favorite things to create is gnomes. And it being August, I have so many ideas of so many fun gnomes to make. So I thought, how many gnomes can I show you guys in the month of August? Let's challenge it. We're gonna see, okay? So make sure you keep watching and we'll see how many gnomes I can show you guys in 1 month. So that being said, today I have something a little more fun to show you guys, a little different. I tried my very first wreath. I've never made a wreath. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out though. We have, of course, a gnome wreath here. Anyways, we'll get right into it and I'll show you guys exactly how I made this cute little gnome wreath. Okay, I started by cutting all my ribbon and my burlap by wrapping it around this piece of cardboard I have and then just cutting the ends. So they were all the same length. And I used, I believe, 3 different types of burlap, 4 different ribbons, and then some of that sheer tulle kind of fabric. Ribbon. You can see I just keep wrapping it and cutting it. So there's a lot of, when they say you need a lot of material for these wreaths, they're not kidding. It took a lot of fabric for me to get this thing done. And then for the ribbons, I did just fold them in half and then just kind of cut them so they have that nice little points to the ends. And then I took some pipe cleaners and just cut those in half. You don't need them to be that long. I took my burlap and I would roll it, same with the sheer material here, and I just made a bunch of little rolls with that. And then just add a ribbon to it. So it's burlap, sheer, ribbon. So the 3 pieces I took together and then just twisted them all together. And originally I started by adding them right away. I'd make one and add it to the wire. This is just a wire wreath frame from Dollarama. I should add that too. I did start to hot glue the rolls. I found they kept together a little nicer if I just put a little bit of glue in the center to hold it all together. And then again, just twist hide it. Add to the wire frame. I'm adding these ones right now to the inside ring. Then I just kept rolling them and gluing them. And just add variations as to which ribbons and pieces I added, so they're all different. And then I started just making my little bundles all up at once. I decided to make a whole bunch of those rather than doing one and adding it. I just made them all up and then added them all at once instead. And at first I started putting them just on the like I said, the inside ring, and I was putting them really close together. And then partway through I started realizing, oh, I'm not going to have enough if I keep doing it this way. So I started spacing them out just a little bit more. And then I started working on the outer rings after that. And these ones, I started at first on the very far ring, just adding it to that, but I found they spun around too much. So I did start adding where I just would wrap it around the 2 outside rings at the same time. And I found that kept them in place a little bit better. You can see it's starting to fill out pretty good. I think I could have added more and made it more full, but this worked pretty good. And now I just took some other ribbon. I got this at Dollarama as well. It's like a sheer ribbon. And I just kind of weaved it in and out all through the whole thing. Poking it through the wires and back around again. Fluffing it out in certain places just to kind of fill up some of the gaps in there and add some more sheer prettiness to it, we'll say. And then at the end there, when I got to the end, there was quite a tail, but I wanted to leave that for now. So I just kind of left it and tied it. And now I'm grabbing another roll. This one is white. The first one was pink. I don't know if you can tell, it's pretty light pink. And then this one is a white one. So I just tied those together. As you can see, nothing fancy, just a nice knot at the back. And then I just did the same thing with this one, and I just kind of kept wrapping it through, pulling it in between pieces. And then when I got to the back again, I just tied the two together. And I'm just going to leave that there for now. So then we're going to put that to the side, and we're going to start on making our little gnomes. So this is where, if you have a bag of scrap fabric and scrap beard material, this works great. So I just took some wine corks and I started wrapping fabric around that. And then just glue and tuck down the end, cut off any excess if there's too much. But you can just glue that in there now. Measuring out for his hat. So I just cut a big rectangle for his hat, and then I folded it in half and cut out my triangle shape. And took the hot glue along the one side of my triangle shape there, glue it together, turn it right side out. I took a little stick pin that I painted with a flesh tone, and that's what I used for noses on these. It works great. Little glue on a little triangle piece of fur. This again is just a scrap piece of fur that I keep all my little scrap pieces, and now I'm so happy that I do for these reasons. I'm just going to add a little glue, and we're going to put that little hat we made right on the top of that guy. And this, I'll just show you, this is those stick pins I was telling you about. They're ones with the balls on the end, and I just painted those all. It did take a couple coats of paint to get especially the red ones covered, but as you can see, it works pretty good. And again, we're just going to do, we need about 7 of these is what I made. So I just did some variations, so some with pink hats, some with white hats, just depending on what you feel. Different colored beards depending on what I had too in my scrap bag. Again, just turning, you can see I came right through the top. You don't have to be as picky because they're getting glued into the wreath, so if the hats aren't perfect, it's okay. Had some pink beards even, so we added a couple of those I think I had. A little pom-pom on the end. And you can fold down your hat if you want, or you can leave it sticking up, however you want them to look. So there, I said like 7 of them I've made. And I'm just going to randomly decide where I want to put those in my wreath now. Just kind of fluffing the stuff around it. I did decide I want 2 right at the very bottom. And then I got these little welcome words. They're little wooden words from Dollarama. And I'm just going to paint those up too. We're going to paint some pink, some white, and leave some wooden color. Or natural color, I guess, not wooden color. I like to make up things. So we're just going to glue that right onto their hats now. And I did paint a few extra too, so I'll put some just randomly throughout the wreath as well. And once those are all attached, we're going to start gluing our gnomes and putting them where we want them to be on our wreath. And then I took that extra ribbon that I had left hanging down, and we're just going to tuck that all in around our two little gnomes at the bottom here. Then just add a little hot glue in a couple spots to keep it in place. And then, like I said, we're going to add those little welcome words all over too. And then I added some extra little ribbons and flowers. This is a bow I'm putting right at the very bottom. I had some burlap flowers and also just some pink and white paper flowers that I got from Dollarama. And we're adding all these just all over randomly throughout. And there it is. It's all done. Well, there it is. Our gnome wreath is all done. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out for a first wreath. I think it's pretty good. I do feel like I could keep trimming on the little strings forever, so hopefully I'll figure that one out. But please let me know what you think in the comments below. And for this month, like I said, we're going to be doing lots of gnomes. So if there's anything specific you would like to see, please let me know and I'll give it my best try. Until then, have yourselves a great week. Love to all. Thanks for watching.